In part 1, I talked about 3 women in my family with unusually strong intuition: my mother, my aunt, and me. We are all published authors with at least one best-selling book in China. My aunt's I Ching book, The Golden Key, 64 Hexagrams Explained, sold millions of copies in China. What made the book unusual was the way she wrote it. She interpreted the I Ching through poetry, and she often described the writing process as in a free-flow state, through which the symbolic meanings already existed in her subconscious and simply emerged naturally. This happened during a unique cultural moment in China, when qigong, Tai Chi, and consciousness practices were extremely popular. My aunt believed this cultural momentum created a collective consciousness that helped shape the writing of the book. Later, many qigong movements were criticized or suppressed as superstition, but that earlier environment deeply shaped her intellectual and intuitive development. Both my mother and I were born in Xi'an, capital of the Zhou dynasty, where the I Ching was developed. I felt connected through history, family, and interpretation. My aunt often told me that the I Ching was never meant to be frozen in time. She spoke frequently about King Wen and the Duke of Zhou, father and son, who shaped and interpreted the Zhou Yi across generations. When I studied with her, I felt the same intergenerational effort. My aunt believed that subconsciousness plays a central role in interpreting the I Ching. The ancestors who created the I Ching must have used their strong intuition and subconscious to find the patterns of nature. Our subconsciousness connects with our ancestors in order to understand their thinking process. My aunt's powerful intuition led to a great discovery. Mandate of Heaven, published in 2001 in the West, became known for identifying hexagram 55 as a solar eclipse. But my aunt's book, The Golden Key, had already made that interpretation years earlier in 1993. I often wonder how much knowledge gets lost because of language and cultural barriers. At one point, my aunt stopped studying the I Ching for nearly 20 years after becoming Christian because she worried it conflicted with religion. But later, she came to see it differently. To her, the I Ching was not superstition. It was cultural heritage, Chinese intellectual history, a massive accumulation of human observation encoded symbolically over generations. She even found parallels between the 8 trigrams and biblical structure, including the 8 people on Noah's Ark. For her, these were not contradictions. They were different symbolic systems you can use to understand the same human reality. And maybe that's the most important thing I learned from her. The I Ching is not just about prediction. It's about patterns. Patterns in nature and history. Patterns in psychology. Patterns across generations.